The law defines domestic violence as the willful infliction of corporal injury resulting in a traumatic condition on one's spouse, live-in lover, former live-in lover, or the mother or father of one's child. This can also apply to someone that you have had a dating relationship or a romantic relationship with. The term traumatic condition can be any wound or injury, regardless of the seriousness of the injury or wound. Essentially, this means that any physical force applied to one of those people that results in even the slightest injury can result in your arrest and prosecution for domestic violence. Why? The O.J. Simpson case had a serious impact on California law, as well as a law in many other states regarding domestic violence cases. The Simpson case resulted in changes to the law by many state legislatures, California in particular. The most significant of these changes involves the manner in which police agencies respond to domestic disturbance calls. Police officers have been stripped of their role as mediator between a husband and wife when involved in a domestic disturbance. Simply put, if there is an accusation of spousal abuse, no matter how slight or insignificant, someone is going to be arrested. Someone will go to jail. And it's usually the man, even if both parties are claiming the other started it. The role of the prosecutor has also been changed. District attorneys' offices have established special units that prosecute nothing but domestic violence allegations. Funding from state and federal agencies is provided to the prosecutors' offices to establish and maintain these special units. The legislature set it up so that the funding amount is based upon the needs of the individual district attorney's office. So, the more arrests and prosecutions in a particular office, the more money for them. But there are even more changes. The laws of courtroom evidence have been drastically skewed to aid the prosecution in much the same way that the law of evidence has been altered to aid the prosecution in sex molestation cases. Evidence of prior allegations of domestic violence most likely will be used against the person accused. Whether there was an actual prosecution or conviction for that prior domestic violence allegation doesn't matter. Something as insignificant as a prior police response to a domestic disturbance at your home can and most likely will be introduced in the court. The penalties for domestic violence convictions can be severe. Felony convictions carry a minimum of 2 years and a maximum of 4 years in the state prison and fines up to $10,000. Misdemeanor convictions can result in 1 year of county jail time and fines up to $1,000. 2 felony convictions in a 7-year period requires mandatory jail sentencing, and 3 convictions can increase a state prison sentence up to 5 years. If serious injuries are involved, or if the force is likely to cause serious injury, as alleged by the prosecution, a felony could result in the accused having a strike conviction pursuant to many states' 3-strike laws. Any conviction for domestic violence where probation is granted will result in the defendant having to submit to 52 weeks of anger management counseling. What I find to be strange is that in order to get out on bail, most counties require that you start the anger management classes before you even go to trial. They seem to have the cart before the horse. Failure to complete the counseling can result in a probation violation and jail time for the defendant. The O.J. Simpson case also had a significant political impact on domestic violence cases. Judges and district attorneys are scrutinized every election year on their policies and performance regarding domestic violence. Thus, there is pressure on the courts and elected prosecutors to pander to the voting public in dealing with these cases. Defending against an accusation of domestic violence requires knowledge of the various laws and how they will apply to the case at hand. It also requires the effort of a knowledgeable group of attorneys, investigators, and forensic experts to develop a strategy of defense.